Good morning students. In our last lesson, we have studied about the childhood of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Now we will study the rest part of the chapter. It is page number 70, paragraph number 6. One day when I was in the 5th standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. I used to wear a cap which marked me as a Muslim, and I always sat in the front row next to Ramanand Shastri, who wore the sacred thread. The new teacher could not stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. In accordance with our social ranking, as the new teacher saw it, I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. I felt very sad, so did Ramanand Shastri. He looked utterly downcast as I shifted to my seat in the last row. The image of him weeping when I shifted to the last row left a lasting impression on me. Now he recalls one more incident of his childhood, of his school. He said when he was studying in 5th standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to their class, and as he was a Muslim boy, he used to wear a cap which marked him Muslim. He always used to sit in front row next to Ramanand Shastri, who was his close friend and who was a Hindu boy, and who wore the sacred thread. Sacred thread means Janeu, that the Hindu people used to wear. The new teacher could not stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy. Now this new teacher, he didn't know about them, anything about them, and he could not tolerate this fact that a Hindu priest's son is sitting with a Muslim boy. So he asked him to go and sit at the back. Abdul Kalam, he felt very sad. Ramanand Shastri, who was his close friend, he also looked very sad and he was very much depressed. He started crying. Abdul Kalam said, the image of him weeping when I shifted to the last row left a lasting impression on me. Means when he saw his weeping face, and this impression remained as a lasting impression on him. After school, we went home and told our respective parents about the incidents. Lakshmana Shastri summoned the teacher and in our presence told the teacher that he should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent people. He bluntly asked the teacher to either apologize or quit the school and the island. Not only did the teacher regret his behavior, but the strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Shastri conveyed ultimately reformed the young teacher. And after school, when both the boys they went home, they told their parents about this incident, how the master behaved with them, how the teacher behaved with them. Then Lakshmana Shastri, he called, someone means called. He called the teacher, and in the presence of the children, he told the teacher that he should not poison their mind with this social inequality and communal intolerance. He should not behave like this, and he should not poison the minds of young children about this, you can say, social inequality. He bluntly asked the teacher either to apologize means to say sorry, or quit the school and the island. He was told either he should apologize for his behavior or he should quit. He should quit means leave. He should leave the school and he should leave that island also, because people of that island, they will not tolerate all these things. They will not tolerate any communal, you can say, inequality and social inequality. Not only did the teacher regret his behavior, but strong sense of conviction. Conviction means opinion, belief. Lakshmana Shastri conveyed ultimately reformed the young teacher. This brought a good change, great change in the teacher. He regretted for his mistake, he apologized for his mistake, and a strong change is also came in his behavior. Now he promised that he will not do such behavior again. He will not do such things again. On the whole, the small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of segregation of different social groups. However, my science teacher Shiva Subramaniam Iyer, though an orthodox Brahmin with a very conservative vibe, was something of a rebel. He did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying backgrounds could mingle easily, and he used to spend hours with me and would say, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with the highly educated people of the big cities. Now, on the whole, this small society of Rameshwaram was very rigid in terms of segregation. Segregation means separation of different social groups. A change is coming in the people, but some people, they are still very rigid. And his science teacher, he remembers his science teacher, his name was Shiva Subramaniam Iyer, and although he was a person with liberal mind, but his wife was a very conservative. She was having very orthodox, you can say, views, but he was a great person. Science teacher Shiva Subramaniam was a great person, and he wants to bring a change in the society. So he did his best to break social barriers so that people from varying means different backgrounds, they could mingle. Mingle means mix with each other. There should not be any differentiation on the basis of religion, on the basis of caste. So he used to like Kalam very much and spend hours with him, and he would say to him, Kalam, I want you to develop so that you are on par with the highly educated people of the big cities. He said that you should work hard and you should grow. You should do progress so that you can be at par and at the same level with the highly educated people of the big city. One day he invited me to his home for a meal. His wife was horrified at the idea of a Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. She refused to serve me in her kitchen. Shiva Subramaniam Iyer was not perturbed, nor did he get angry with his wife, but instead served me with his own hands and sat beside me to eat his meal. Now one day, as he wanted to break all these social barriers, he wanted to bring a change in the society, he invited him on a meal to his house, and his wife was horrified. Horrified means terrified at the idea of Muslim boy being invited to dine in her ritually pure kitchen. She thinks, as she was a very orthodox Hindu, she belongs to a very orthodox Hindu family, and she thinks that her kitchen will be, you can say, very pure, and it will be spoiled by the entry of, it would become impure by the entry of a Muslim boy. So she refused to serve him in her kitchen. But Shiva Subramaniam was not perturbed. Perturbed means he was not disturbed at all, and nor did he get angry. Gussa bhi nahi hue, but instead he served him food with his own hands and sat beside him to eat his meal, so that he can bring some change in the society. His wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way I ate rice, drank water, or cleaned the floor after the meal. And when I was leaving his house, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer invited me to join him for dinner again the next week. Observing my hesitation, he told me not to get upset and say, once you decide to change the system, such problems have to be confronted. Confronted means faced. When I visited his house next week, Shiva Subramaniam Iyer's wife took me inside her kitchen and served me food with her own hands. Now, his wife watched us from behind the kitchen door. As she didn't allow him to enter the kitchen, he was served food outside the kitchen, but she was looking at him from the kitchen door, and I wondered whether she had observed any difference in the way. And she observed that there was no difference between Hindu Hindus and Muslims, the way they eat rice, they drank water, they cleaned the floor, and she found no difference between them. And when he was leaving his house after the meal, Shiva Subramaniam asked him, he invited him to join for a dinner next weekend. Observing my hesitation, but Abdul Kalam, he hesitated and he was about to refuse for this, but Shiva Subramaniam told him, you should not get upset, and once you decided to bring a change in the system, such problems are confronted. Yes, in the beginning, some problems, we have to face these problems. If we want to bring any change in the society, we have to face such problems, but after that, everything will be normal. And next weekend, he visited his house, and Shiva Subramaniam's wife, she herself invited him in the kitchen and served him food with his hands. It means he was successful in his mission. Shiva Subramaniam wanted to bring this change, and he was able to bring this change. Then the Second World War was over, and India's freedom was imminent. Indians will build their own India, declared Gandhiji. The whole country was filled with unprecedented optimism, and I asked my father for permission to leave Rameshwaram and study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. Then after some time, this war was over, and India's freedom struggle started, and Indians, they want to bring their own they want to build their own India under the guidance of Gandhiji. Now, whole country, it was filled with optimism. Everybody was hopeful that we will be able to form a good society, we will be able to get independence. And then he asked his father that he wanted to go to a bigger, you can say, city, Ramanathapuram, for his studies. He told me as if thinking aloud, Abu, I know you have to go away to grow. Does the seagull not fly across the sun alone and without a nest? He quoted Hildebrand to my hesitant mother. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. Now, he told me if thinking aloud. His father also gave him permission, and he told him that I know you have to go away to grow. Means he was also a very liberal-minded person, and he said in this small, you can say city, small town, you cannot grow, and you have to go away to grow. Then he gave the example of seagull, that seagulls, they have to fly alone, fly without a nest across the sun to achieve her, you can say, अपनी उस मंजिल को मिलने के लिए लेने के लिए. He quoted Hildebrand to my hesitant mother. The mother was hesitant, and he said, your children are not your children. They belong to nation. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They have come through you, but they are not from you. The nation, the country, they have full right on them, and you may give them your love, but not your thoughts. You are not to impose your thoughts on them, and for they have their own thoughts. They have to, if they have to grow, they have to go away from you, and they have to do progress. So this was about some incidents of life of Abdul Kalam, and rest of the chapter, rest of the question answers and other details I will discuss in the down class, and I will send you the essay. Thank you.